Losing a pet is like losing a piece of your heart. If you're struggling with grief, you're not alone. At mydogdied.com, we understand the pain and are here to support you. Visit us today and find comfort, guidance, in a community that cares. We received a letter from someone who has lost their pet and have allowed us to share their story so that it will help other listeners deal with the loss of their pet.
I've heard thousands of stories since I started mydogdied.com. Some are filled with quiet grace, some are drenched in heartbreak, and every once in a while, one sticks with me because it reminds me why we do what we do. This one's about Jane. Jane is 47 years old and lives in Hermosa Beach, California. You'd like her if you met her. She's the kind of woman who keeps fresh flowers in her kitchen, knows the name of every barista at her favorite coffee shop, and still calls her parents every Sunday. But more than anything, Jane loved her dog, Jax. Jax was a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. The moment she laid eyes on him at the breeders 12 years ago, she just knew, this is my dog. He was barely the size of a loaf of bread, all floppy ears and caramel-colored fur. And he had that classic Cavalier look, big, dark eyes full of feeling, as if he already knew all your secrets. Over the years, Jax became everything to Jane. He wasn't just a pet. He was her shadow, her constant, her heartbeat at her feet. Jax was the perfect lapdog, the kind who somehow made a 12-hour Netflix binge feel like a spa retreat just because he was curled up beside you. And boy, did he love car rides. The moment Jane reached for her keys, he'd appear at the door like clockwork, tail wagging, eyes locked on hers, saying please. Just one loop around the block. But when Jax turned 11, something changed. Jane noticed he was more tired than usual. His breathing seemed labored on walks. At first, she thought maybe it was age, or a particularly hot summer. But the vet delivered the news that would change everything. Mitral Valve Disease, MVD. It's common in Cavaliers, but that didn't make it any less devastating. Jane wasn't ready to let go. Who could blame her? She spent hours, days, researching treatments, speaking to specialists across the country, reading veterinary studies late into the night. And when she found a clinic in Arizona offering advanced surgical intervention, she didn't hesitate. She paid $18,000 for the first procedure. Then came a follow-up in Seattle, $22,000. Then a Japanese specialist doing experimental valve reconstruction, $35,000 when it was all said and done. $75,000 all in. None of it worked. Jax passed away one quiet Tuesday morning in Jane's arms, just 2 weeks after the final surgery. She said his eyes were tired, but calm, as if he was saying, "It's okay, Mom. You tried, but Jane didn't feel peace." She felt guilt, the kind that burrows in deep, the kind that says, "I should have known when to stop." That whisper in your mind that says, "You did too much and not enough all at once." And that's when Jane found us. mydogdied.com. She didn't post anything right away. She just read story after story from people who had walked the same tightrope between hope and heartbreak. Eventually, she reached out. I remember our first call like it was yesterday. Jane told me everything, her fight, her regret, the way she kept replaying those final moments. She didn't need advice. She needed someone to sit with her in the pain and say, "I get it. I really, truly get it." Our grief therapists began working with her gently, walking her back from the edge of guilt. They helped her understand that love doesn't always look like knowing the right answer. It often looks like trying everything even if the outcome doesn't change. They helped her see that Jax didn't measure her love by the success of a surgery. He measured it by every car ride, every soft word, every morning she woke up just to be with him. It took time. Healing like that doesn't happen overnight. But Jane started to forgive herself. She began writing letters to Jax. something we often suggest at mydogdied.com. One letter turned into 20. She even created a small altar in her home, a place to light a candle for him, to say thank you for the 12 years of unconditional love. Today, Jane's grief still lingers like it always does with a deep love. But the guilt, it doesn't own her anymore. Now when she talks about Jax, it's with a smile. A tear may come too, but it's softer, warmer. We don't fix broken hearts at mydogdied.com. We sit with them, hold space, and help people like Jane understand that sometimes loving hard means grieving hard, and that's okay. So, if you're reading this, and your heart is cracked wide open, like Jane's was, please know, you're not alone. We're here. We've been there. And like Jax, we'll ride shotgun for as long as you need.
Your love for your pet never fades, and neither should your support. If you're grieving, don't go through it alone. Visit mydogdied.com or call us at 855-925-2658 and connect with those who truly understand. Healing starts here.